We've just heard this in the last hour. Former American footballer O.J. Simpson has died at the age of 76. In a statement, his family said, on April the 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, the family asked that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. O.J. Simpson, best known for being tried for the murder of his ex-wife and her friend back in October 1995. He was found not guilty, and it was dubbed by many the trial of the century. Joining me now to bring back memories of O.J. Simpson is Hannah Hope, the show business editor at The Sun on Sunday. And I suppose the fact, Hannah, that you're the showbiz editor rather than somebody from the sports desk at The Sun is an indication of the kind of status and the kind of crossover capacity of O.J. Simpson, because he began as a huge sporting hero.
Absolutely. He was on a par with, like, your David Beckhams in America. Then when he retired, he crossed over into acting. You were just saying you saw him in a film, didn't you?
I certainly did. I saw him in Towering Inferno, the disaster movie in 1975. And he was magnificent in it. An incredibly good-looking man, very sort of compelling character and personality.
But that acting career was cut short for what probably most of our viewers will know him for, which is the trial where he was accused of murdering his wife, Nicole, and her male friend while they slept in their bedroom. He was actually acquitted and let off for that trial, but he ended up being found guilty in a civil court and had to pay millions and millions of pounds because that he was found guilty of that. But later, years later, he actually did go to prison for armed robbery. But around his death, he was a free man, and he was enjoying time with his 5 children and grandchildren.
I mean, you know, an extraordinary, towering American character. And when the trial was shown on television here, naturally, because of the time difference, it was shown in the middle of the night. And certain people's entire lives were taken over by watching the trial all night. One of them was the late Princess Diana, who professed herself to be absolutely addicted to this unfolding and enfolding trial. And of course, the central feature of the trial turned out to be really not necessarily the facts, but racism. Yeah. And, you know, who was arguing for what and who was making which assumption, really on the basis of O.J. Simpson's race rather than what he had or hadn't done. And, of course, there was the iconic and unforgettable glove, the trying on of the glove. Did the glove fit? Didn't the glove fit?
And actually, a lot of these details were relived a couple of years ago during a dramatisation of the saga in The People versus O.J. Simpson. Cuba Gooding Jr. played the sports star.
Yes.
And we were saying Robert Kardashian, Kim Kardashian's dad, actually was his lawyer, played in this drama by David Schwimmer.
He was one of the lawyers,
yes.
And he was kind of an extra lawyer. But the key thing was that he was his great friend in real life. And his wife, or at that point, former wife, Kris Jenner, who's obviously the momager of all the Kardashians, was a great, very close personal friend of Nicole Brown Simpson. And every day of the trial, Robert Kardashian sat at the right hand of O.J. and Kris Jenner, his former wife, sat with the Brown Simpson family, and the daughters, Kim and her sisters, were kind of torn in two, not knowing what to do or where to sit.
And they've discussed this trial at length in sort of saying how this is actually what propelled them to their first taste of fame as children before the reality show was even born. So yeah, it just goes to show how famous O.J. Simpson is in America, but probably what most people remember him for in the UK was this very controversial trial.
Thank you, Hannah. I hope very much indeed. Good to see you. And of course, you know, I'm sure there'll be some kind of retrospectives in the papers here.
Yes, we're all working very hard on it. The news has just broke, but we do have lots of exclusives in the paper tomorrow.
Yes, about that.
Yes, absolutely.
And I wonder, you know, whether there'll be British sporting stars talking about his sports career, which I suppose was, you know, the paramount part of his life, or, you know, drama critics and film critics talking about his acting career, which I suppose was another key part.
Lots of different angles to take on, definitely.
All right, Hannah, thank you very much indeed.